Okay, so we want to derive the components of this curvature tensor times GAB, and we have this is equal to, the right-hand side is 0, and so we know that these terms involve derivatives of the metric. They involve the connection coefficients. Our metric is GAB dxa dxb, which is our spherical symmetry assumption, plus we only have diagonal terms, plus G22 dx2 dx2 plus G33 dx3 dx3. G22 is equal to r squared, and G33 is r squared sine squared theta. And so let's start, we'll evaluate some of these terms. So we'll evaluate all the connection coefficients, but let's see how far we get in terms of these. I think we'll look at the 0, 0. I think there may be 3 of these that survive, but we'll get a sense of the procedure. We may not go through all the terms because it just takes too long. So we have to obtain these because these are derivatives of these connections. So we have a half GAD dG dC with respect to XB plus dG BD with respect to XC minus BC in XD. And so we can start to evaluate these. So this is just sort of brute force calculation, 0, 0, and maybe we will evaluate just some of these and eventually just pick the ones that we know not to be 0. So this becomes 1/2 G, but we want to get a sense of how this works. So this is D0 with respect to X0 plus DG zero D X0 minus DG 0, 0 in XD. And this gives us 1/2. So G doesn't work. 0, 0. Now we're summing over D, but we know that only diagonal terms survive. So for the inverse, it's only G0, 0 that survives. So we'll stop at that. This is the G0, 0 in X0. DG0, 0 in X0 minus DG0, 0 in X0. So we really have just a term like this, but we know it doesn't depend on time. So this is 0. So we have that expression. Let's see, gamma 1, 0, 0 is 1/2 G1D. DG D0 with respect to X0, DG0D with respect to X0. We know these terms are 0 regardless of what these are because there's time independence here. Here we have minus G0, 0 with respect to XD. We know that the only one that will survive is D equals to 1, which is also true of this term. And so we end up getting 1/2 G11 DG10. Well, let's just write it out for now. GG10 with respect to X0. DG01 with respect to X0. Both of these terms are 0 because there are no diagonal metric terms, minus DG00 with respect to X1. which gives us minus 1/2 g11 dg00 with respect to x1. And so that's a non-zero connection term. Let's gamma 2, 0, 0. This is 1/2. What we're doing 2d. So, right. A is 2, so this ends up giving us 2, 2, the only one that could survive. And then we have dg, this becomes 2, 0. That doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter that we take a derivative of that. Then that term also doesn't exist, and it's also with respect to time, which doesn't exist. There's no time dependence. And then we had g00 with respect to the x2, but this only depends on r, so we know this is equal to 0. So that's 0. So let's just now go through the ones that are not 0. So we have gamma 0, 0, 1. That's the same as gamma 0, 1, 0. So we have 1/2 g 0d, so it's only 0, 0 that survives. And we get dg01, that's 0, then dg 0, 0 with respect to x1 minus dg01, that doesn't exist with respect to x0, and this gives us 1/2 g00 plus the middle term g00 with respect to x1, and we'll go through the rest, and we'll just look at the ones that actually are not 0.